Well, hello and welcome. Hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. In particular, I want to address the censors immediately, um, and for this reason. Last week we had a problem, I think, with huge miscommunication, and you had shut down our lives 3 different times for 3 reasons, and I want to address them right now. Number one, you said there are harmful substances on here that may harm the people on the lives. First thing I want to share with you again, which I always point out, we're only sharing what's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. There are no products, there are no substances. It's based on food and medically proven that it's safe and medically proven that it's real. So we make no claims. We're only sharing, we're teaching people exactly what they did in these medical trials. Number two, you said it's an extreme diet, or you thought it was, or some kind of body dysphoria or body image. Again, nothing could be farther from the truth. This is a detox. It is not a diet. It's not about losing weight. Losing weight is the last part of this. And the changes in people's body composition is being impacted by the body being able to pull poisons out of the fat cells. And because what's happening is as we're breathing, drinking, eating these chemicals, the body is taking those poisons and stuffing them in our fat cells, and those fat cells are expanding. So actually that bloating that you may misconstrue as body imaging or body dysphoria is absolutely the body telling us that we're storing these chemicals inside of us. And the good news is these peer-reviewed studies have proven that this is absolutely safe, it's real, and it's changing people's lives. Number one, it's sustainable. The last thing was you said that we were diverting people away from TikTok to go and buy other products. First of all, we have no products to sell. Number two, on the website, there's nothing there to buy. It's an educational, so the New Health Conversation is for educational purposes only. It's not intended to treat, diagnose, prevent any medical diseases. All we're doing is making available to people what was now discovered and published in 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies. There couldn't be anything safer, there couldn't be anything more compliant than what we're doing. We can't find anybody else on all of social media with one shred of medical evidence. We're the only ones. So we're so compliant. We just want to make sure there are no misunderstandings, because when you disrupt one of my lives, a lot of people don't get to hear the information. So hopefully that will clear up the misconceptions. Well, hello everybody. Hello Carolyn. Hello Suz. Hello Amanda. Hello the traveling Nancy. Hello all of you. Again, she lost 60 pounds in 90 days safely without starving or popping pills, using real food for natural detox in weeks, not months, while adding 6 to 9% lean muscle with no exercise, and she's kept it off for life. It's also proven, it's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. You will not, I can't find, maybe you can, but we can't find anybody on all the social media platforms that are dealing with health, nutrition, weight loss that have any medical proof at all. They're nice people, they're giving you opinions. This protocol is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. Number one, it's safe. It will make every single diet, because it's not a diet, it's a detox. So first of all, what we're going to do today, we're going to explain to you what you can do. Now, you read there, this is based on food. There are no pills, there are no substances, there are no products. You're buying food in a completely new way of eating that enables your own body to detox, to move out these poisons we're going to talk about in just a second that we're all storing inside our fat cells, whether you know it or not. So first thing I'd like to ask any of you, do you believe we're living in a toxic world? And do you believe you're toxic? Because what we now know for sure is we're storing not just chemicals in our fat cells, we're storing poisons, things like herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard, Teflon, and flame retardants. And as the brain senses these poisons, because the immune system can't deal with it, so the body, to protect us, takes those poisons and stuffs them inside your visceral fat. That's why you all complain about the bloating. Now, you might think it's some body image thing that has nothing to do with it. Your body's literally warning you. You're storing chemicals in your fat cells. If you look at her picture, I know a lot of you think it's a different woman. It's the daughter of a friend of mine. It's not a different woman. And you can see how much she literally shrank. And that's because your body is capable, but not with just regular food or exercise or anything, of detoxing, of actually pulling these poisons out, and those fat cells can shrink. She was not allowed to exercise. None of the people we're going to share with you today were allowed to exercise. The weight loss on this is so extreme that people, they can't believe it. They think it's fake. For example, if you were just going to lose 20 pounds, I'd love for anybody to put in the chat, but when I ask all of you, yep, you agree, Carolyn, that we're living in a toxic world. Great. But when I show you the facts, it'll blow your mind. Now remember, I'm not giving you opinions. We don't give you opinions. We only rely on these medical journals, for example, the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, Nutrients, the Nutrition Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, Frontiers in Nutrition, and Nature Communications are the top journals in the world that deal with your health, nutrition, and your weight loss. Notice weight loss is the third most important thing. The main reason to do this is not to lose weight. We almost laugh. That's like the throw-in. What if I told you, men and women, that the New Health Conversation is a movement? There are no products. So the website, and that's it, the New Health Conversation, is free to go there at any time. The only thing on that website is free, is medical proof. And the New Health Conversation was started 23 years ago with one person, and that one person was me. And now we've helped, you ready for this, between 500 and 700,000 people in 23 years to do this. Everybody gets a coach. Now, how did we do it? We did it because so many people had such amazing results and said, hey, we all got coached for free. We're willing to coach somebody else. So everybody would get a coach. The coaching's zero. The coaching's free. There's nothing to buy. We don't have any products. The only thing you're buying is going to be food. I know that sounds too simplistic, but it's very specific food in very specific amounts at very specific times that will enable your own body to detox. Am I making sense, everybody? Does everybody understand? We got a lot of people. Isabet, we got Man Flea, we got Vanessa, we got Simone, we have and Erica, Art, Chris, Larry, Hydro. Thank you all for being here this morning. Really appreciate all of you. Now, listen, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Be a little bit patient, and here's why. This is not some simple explanation like, oh, here's a list of foods and go for it. No, it's more than that. Because I want you to be motivated by the science. I want you to be motivated by not a false promise, but real medical proof. And of course, nothing is 100%. But I'll tell you what, this is probably 99%. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago, which prompted me to start the New Health Conversation. I mean, you could imagine, when I was 40 pounds in 7 weeks, and by the way, I've kept it up for 23 years, I said, we got to tell the world about this. Now, I had no idea that the New Health Conversation was going to lead to what it's led to. You all have a chance, beginning today, to actually hit the do-over button for the rest of your life. Because here's my point. If you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? Look, we have the best drugs on the planet. We have the best doctors, the best protocols. But is that the solution? If you're a type 2 diabetic and you can take a medication, is that really the solution? Or would it be better to be able to put your body in a position where you needed less medication, or were able to eliminate it? If you're type 2, not type 1, you're always going to need insulin. That's just one example. But the weight loss in this is so dramatic, you would think that's the main thing. That is not. I'm sure you've heard the expression, make the main thing the main thing. The main thing to do that starts everything is to be able to enable your own body to remove the poisons we're all storing inside of us. Can you imagine? Well, listen, look, you've all followed the stories for the last 10 years or more about Monsanto and Roundup. You think that's the only pesticide out there? Don't be so naive. Look, right now, Johns Hopkins Medical School, this is a new study. Johns Hopkins Medical School predicts obesity apocalypse in 4 years. We estimate 86% of Americans will be overweight or obese in 4 years. Also, when we look at people like Harvard Medical School, stop counting calories, big study. But here's the one that I think should catch all of your attention, Medicare. Medicare is trying to bring healthcare costs down. Do you know that in the United States now this year we're going to spend $5.9 trillion on healthcare, 6 times the defense budget, and yet we rank behind Cuba in health. Do you think something's wrong with that? Do you think what we're doing is actually working? But here's the thing about diets. Let's talk about a damning effect on diets. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diet's not the answer. The researchers at Medicare reviewed long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether any diet is an effective treatment for obesity. The researchers found that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. In summary, Medicare said, there is little evidence for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. So what they're saying is 2/3 of you are going to gain more weight than you lost. This whole diet thing is the biggest sort of Ponzi scheme on planet Earth. We're still being told after all this time the way to lose weight is calories in, calories out. Well, there's a big problem with that. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. Your body's never counted a calorie. You can't be hungry for calories. You can't be hungry for something your body doesn't even know. We're alive because of three things, and one of them is not calories: air, water, and what? Nutrition. So the researchers who put this together, who created this, are rated the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the entire world, all right? They had done 100 studies over 40 years on human beings. They were paid to analyze diets. They came to the same conclusion that Medicare did. Oh, everybody lost weight on diets initially. In 40 years, they never found a diet where people lost weight and kept it off, and 2/3 of everybody gained more weight than they lost. My God, the obesity rates in this country, in North America, have gone from 1995 to 2025, they've doubled. We have more diets than ever. Do you think maybe it's time to re-examine and say, you know what? Maybe what we're doing is not exactly working, because it's not. If nearly 86%, nearly 90% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese in 4 years, that's you guys, men and women. This is the solution. Now, not something I'm making up. It's not my opinion. I'm not giving you opinions. When it's published, like I said, in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. So, okay, the reason I asked you to be patient, I know everybody wants to tell us what it is. Tell us what it is. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not a diet. It has nothing to do with counting calories. So the researchers, once they realized after 40 years, there was no diet that ever worked. They said, we got to look for something different. What they did, they went to these blue zones. I don't know if you all know, a blue zone is an area where a lot of people live to be 100, nobody's overweight, and hardly anybody gets sick. And there were three things they were doing in those blue zones that these researchers put together. One, people ate much smaller amounts of food, but the foods they chose had really high levels of nutrition. See, it has nothing to do with how much food's on your plate. It has to do with how much nutrition is in the food. And if you can satisfy the nutritional need of your body in smaller quantities of food, you're never going to be hungry, okay? You're never going to be hungry. I mean, we have people doing this who weigh 400, 500 pounds. They're not hungry because the only thing they've ever been hungry for is calories. So then what do they want? More calories. But the brain's telling you you're hungry, but you're not hungry for more calories. You're hungry for more nutrition. So the researchers, here's how they did it. They put together a food list that you would get. You would take it to your grocery store, but only about 30%, whatever you spent last month on groceries total, you're only going to need 30% this month at your grocery store to get proteins, fats, carbs, fruits and vegetables and salads based on serving sizes, not on the amount of calories. No calorie counting at all. And those foods are picked based on their nutritional densities. Is this making sense? But that's only 30% of what you would buy. You're buying food on this, okay? The other 70% comes from other researchers who physically had gone to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand over the last 20 years and brought these foods back with huge amounts of nutrition and very small amounts of food, including some of these nutrients from these blue zone areas, right? Okay, so now they had the foods that she was going to consume. But the key now was, how does she consume it? So let's say the foods that you got from your grocery store and then from around the world would be the ingredients. Well, you know, if you're going to cook something, what do you need? If you have ingredients, you need a recipe. So for lack of a better term, let's call what she did the recipe. And it became, they have a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office called protein pacing. You all can look it up in Google. It's a registered trademark. So 5 days a week, she was having 4 meals a day. Yes, she started only with these exotic foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand for breakfast. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a fourth meal after dinner from these exotic foods around the world. 2 days a week, here's the detox part of this. No food at all from the grocery store, only these exotic foods. But this time she ate 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half or 2 hours. The diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes. And like I said before, people weighing 400 and 500 pounds weren't hungry. if I can teach you anything, is your hunger has never come from the amount or lack thereof of food on your plate. The only thing it's come from is you don't have enough nutrition. And we're not talking about supplements here. We're not talking about pills. We're talking about food, okay? Then the researchers, once they had done that, then they did the most extensive medical research. Listen to me. The most extensive medical research that's ever been done on health, nutrition, and weight loss. And what they proved was through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, this protocol the body was doing it, was literally detoxing, was pulling these poisons out of the fat cells, and those fat cells shrank. And you can see it in her body, and that's why you think maybe it's a different woman, but it's the same woman. Her whole body changed, right? And I've got other examples that we'll show you here in just a minute or two. But I want you to understand the basic concept is that is only your body can detox you. Don't ever fall for these scams you're going to see where they're going to sell you a pill or something that detoxes. No, they have no evidence, none, zero. We have the medical proof that this through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, that this removing toxins. But it did a lot more than that. Blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, all came down dramatically just in 30 days. The diabetics on this were able to cut their need for insulin by 50% in a month. People that were pre-diabetic pretty much weren't pre-diabetic even in a month. But here was the other big one, inflammation, which plagues every one of us. It came down 25% in a month. No one's ever seen any, there's no diet that's ever touched any of this stuff. And then maintenance. Maintenance is so simple. Like this morning before I came to the studio, I had the world's most perfect meal for breakfast. I'll have lunch at noon, 1 o'clock. I'll have dinner tonight, only 3 meals a day. And then every couple months I do another detox. But it took me 7 weeks to get to the point where I could then be on maintenance. This is not a joke, everybody. This is real. You could absolutely change your life if you'll be serious about it. I understand that, you're all impatient and you want a 60-second answer, but you're not going to get a 60-second answer to a very, very complex problem. If we're going to deal with almost 90% of Americans overweight or obese in just 4 years, I think we need to spend a little bit of time explaining to you why it works. Now, what I'm willing to do, if you want, let me show you just a couple more pictures. Yeah, okay, so you're looking at her right here, everybody, right? Now, this woman only had 30 pounds to lose. She lost 21 pounds and 38 inches in 30 days. And when we talk about the inches, that's because they're measuring their neck, chest, all points on their body. And you can see, look at her stomach on day 1 and look at her stomach on day 30. That's not body image, body dysphoria. That's her body actually detoxing. Now, a non-invasive way to know is to measure. So on this, people don't just weigh themselves. As a matter of fact, we almost tell them the scale's almost less important than the inches, because the inches tell us that your body is working. It's pulling the poisons out of your fat cells, unless you think it's a good idea for you to be storing poisons in your fat cells. No diet touches this. So don't tell me you're on keto or paleo or carnivore or count my macros. It's all silliness. Silliness in terms of it doesn't detox you. And the weight loss on those things is pitiful when you really get into it. Okay, now look, the next thing I want to show you, a 65-year-old man, a diabetic. Curtis, hold on just a second here. You can see right there, look at him, he lost 40 pounds in a month, 52 inches. Look at his A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4. That's in 30 days. Triglycerides 242 to 124. This is not a diet. This is a way of life. It's a way forward. As far as we know right now, it's the main thing that you can do to maximize your quality of life or your health potential. And if your health is not your number one priority, I don't know what would be. The gift we have, see, our birthright is to be healthy, unless you have, a genetic defect at birth. But other than that, we're supposed to be healthy. For some reason, we think it's like an abnormality to be healthy. Do you think it's a coincidence that they've been counting calories since the late 1800s. In 1964, we had about 10 to 15% of Americans overweight or obese. And in 4 years, we're going to be close to 90%. That's a 9-fold increase almost. Come on, everybody. You're fooling yourselves. Now, I know you're going to come on and say, oh, I've lost 50 pounds, I've lost 20 pounds. Yeah, but the evidence says 2/3 of you are going to weigh more than you did when you started. And what are you doing about the poisons you're storing in your fat cells? What are you doing about that? Zero until now. And then you want to see now, this is a lot. In other words, he lost 10 pounds a week. I'm not going to tell you you're going to lose 10 pounds a week. But is it possible? Yes. And then if we look at Julie here, 35 pounds at 37 days, that's not what's impressive. So this isn't about body dysphoria or body image. Look at how much her whole body shrank because she's detoxing, which is completely healthy. It's what you want to be doing. Look at her shoulders, look at her waist, look at her legs. Kimberly, that's part of it. Yes, I'm seeing what you're saying. Kimberly, that's a good start, but unfortunately, Kimberly, the medical evidence proves that it's not anything even close to this. And it removes no toxins from the body, Kimberly, none, zero. There has never been a diet suggesting what you're saying there, any medical proof that's removing anything from the body until now. People, Kimberly, are losing weight in 4 days on this. It would take you 6 weeks doing what you're talking about there. Now, again, it's interesting, only 30% of the food, Kimberly, that like she ate would come from your grocery store, and even though it's organic, the food in North America, which you're describing as whole foods or organic, they did a study on 200 studies, people organic versus regular. And organic was about 15% more nutrition. It still had 25 or 30% of the herbicides and pesticides that are in normal food. So you're on the right track, but that's not going to cut it. It just doesn't cut it. I mean, at best, people are losing maybe a pound a week. We're talking here, you can see, she lost 35 pounds in 37 days. That's like a pound a day. And it's safe and lost no lean muscle, by the way. They measured muscle. She gained 6 to 9% lean muscle, lost no water weight. But the main thing, Kimberly, is the detox. And what you're describing there, not one shred of evidence that that's ever removed a gram of toxins from the body. Listen, Kimberly, the people who did this, they are rated the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. That's not me. I'm not giving you my opinion. My opinion doesn't matter, shouldn't matter, etc. I'm giving you the medical facts. Does that make sense, Kimberly? So my point is, and by the way, so user 196, I just had gone through the whole, I'll do it again here in just a moment for everybody, but let's come back to the original. So look at that. She lost 60 pounds in 90 days safely without starving or popping pills. She used real food for a natural detox in weeks, not months, while adding 6 to 9% lean muscle with no exercise. And she's kept it off, well, for life, but so far for 9 years. That's as long as she's been doing it. And it's proven. Here's the other thing, Kimberly. This is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world for health, nutrition, and weight loss. In the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, in Nutrients, in the Nutrition Journal, in Frontiers in Nutrition, and Nature Communications, Kimberly, which is one of the top 3 or 4 journals in the world. And the study they did on this had nothing to do with the weight loss. It was titled Gut Microbiome Remodeling and Metabolic Profile Improves in Response to Protein Pacing, and this is the key. So we're not making things up. Kimberly, I would ask you, with all due respect, can you show me anybody on all of social media with one scintilla, one shred of medical proof behind what they're saying? Whether it's eat whole foods, do organic, diets and exercise, 10,000 steps, whatever. They can't. We haven't seen one. We can't find one person. Nobody. And I'm talking about people with MDs after the name, with PhDs, and they're writing on boards and they're doing all this stuff. But at the end of the day, unless they have a peer-reviewed human trial medical study, it doesn't mean anything. It's just an opinion. Thank God no drug ever gets approved, and sometimes they get it wrong, I agree. But no drug ever comes to market without going through peer-reviewed human trial studies, and then it has to get published in a major medical journal where they do this end scrutiny. Like when the journals, see, what happens is the journal sends it out to other world-class experts. That's what peer review means. And their job, those other experts, is to discredit what these people are trying to prove. So because the journal, their reputation is everything. So if they did the analysis, the journal, then they said, well, there's a prejudice. No, there's no prejudice. This is going to change the world, Kimberly. This is going to change everybody's life. Everybody needs to be detoxing. My God, Kimberly, they did a study 10 years ago on newborn infants, and they looked at the cord blood in babies at birth. Every baby was coming in the world with an average of 287 toxic chemicals in their blood at birth. So how toxic do you think we are? Who's talking about this? Nobody. Now let's go one step farther, Kimberly and everybody else. This is a new medical syndrome. It's a registered trademark with the U.S. Patent Office. The T stands for the toxic chemicals that are accumulating in our body because we don't have enough nutrition. The D is for deficiency of nutrition, causing us to be overweight and stress. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. It's up there with metabolic syndrome and syndrome X, discovered by Peter Greenlaw. Who's that? Oh, that would be me. Yeah, I discovered this medical syndrome that every person in the world has. And I'm not telling you that to impress you, but I want to impress upon you. Nothing I'm sharing with you, nothing is not based on real, hard scientific evidence, not hyperbole, not, fancy, right on a whiteboard. It's all smoke and mirrors. And when you, at the end of the day, I don't care what diet it is, you're gonna, if you even can average a pound a week, it's a lot. And we know that 25 to 40% of the weight, Kimberly, everybody's losing on every diet measured is lean muscle mass, which does two of the most unhealthy things to all of us. One, it slows down metabolism. That's why people gain all the weight back. But much worse, when you lose lean muscle, you also slow down your own immune system. Does this make sense to everybody? Well, yeah, Kimberly. So I'm that's wonderful. I'm happy for you. But here's what I would ask you, Kimberly, with all due respect. Again, show me a peer-reviewed human trial medical study that shows that it's removing toxins from the body or the kind of weight loss we're talking about. I commend you. That's wonderful. You should be embracing this. You should be wide open because the people who invented this, they're rated the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world, rated number one. They created this. And the thing that's so different, Kimberly, again, with all due respect, show me a peer-reviewed human trial study that even can compete with this. Look, she'll have 60 pounds in 90 days. That's averaging 5 pounds a week. We both know at a diet at best, you're going to get a pound a week at best. And there's no evidence removing chemicals. I mean, all I can tell you is the medical science is the medical science. It's not an opinion on my part. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I would hope you'd be open to the idea. Oh my God, I'd love to know about this. Or not. So let's see. People, they need to eat whole foods. No, they don't. How do we lose weight and how to detox? Okay. Yeah, I don't understand, Kimberly. So like you're mad because I'm giving you real medical proof and you can't produce one shred of medical evidence about what you're claiming to remove toxins from the body and compete with this? I don't get it. I mean, if you're that, I would think you'd be embracing and saying, oh my God, here's the solution. Because I guarantee you, with all due respect, you don't have the solution. You don't have the solution. So you can have a good day too. All right, so let's talk to the rest of the people that really want to know about how I do this. So first of all, Anthony, here's the website, everybody, you can all go to. The New Health Conversation. See, everybody, the problem is that the establishment, this is so threatening to them because, again, they're telling you to do things that are completely proven not to be, that don't work. I mean, here's even Harvard Medical School. Stop counting calories. Harvard Medical School, okay? They're saying the idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. That's what these researchers did. Listen, they're the top people in the world. I mean, it's wonderful that someone got a degree and a PhD in nutrition, but it's not working. You got a degree in something that doesn't work. Okay, great. You spend 40 years doing what? In 40 years, my God, we've gone from about 10% overweight to 90% overweight in 4 years. Does that sound like something you all want to follow? I run into this all the time, but all I rely on is we have the only medical proof in the world, published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, proving this is real and it's going to change the world. Where can I find about the diet? Because nothing has worked for me, and I've tried all of them. Right here, Denise. Hold on. I'm going to explain it to all of you. The New Health Conversation. So the website, do you see it right there below your name, the New Health Conversation? That's where you all can go. And Anthony, it's long-winded. What's long-winded? I don't understand, Anthony. Do you want this to work or not? The long-winded part, you have to learn how to do, and you'll get here's the good news, man. If you go to the website, we won't contact you, but you can contact us. You'll get a free coach. They'll go over everything with you. But this isn't some simple thing, Nancy, like, oh, let's see. Who's saying what? Follow. Where can I find about this? It's long-winded. I just want to start. Okay. Let's see. Can you address others, please? Can you address others, please? What about unicity? Oh, unicity is a complete. Let me find the research on that. I do have the research on unicity here. Hold on. Okay, here's unicity, everybody. Let me read to you. This is from the medical studies. Unicity. Claimed health benefits. Unicity promotes the like balanced fiber supplements, Unimate, for metabolic health, including blood sugar control. However, these are unsubstantiated hype with no independent evidence for detoxifying the body, reducing inflammation, or preserving lean muscle mass. Claims often implied but never proven in any studies. Peer-reviewed human trials virtually non-existent in reputable medical journals on PubMed listed studies on unicity formulations. What they cite are mostly internal, company-funded trials, short-term, small-scale bias, plus borrowed science from generic ingredient research. No rigorous independent human trials validate the product's unique efficacy. Nothing stands out. Ingredients are common, soluble fiber, vitamins, plant extracts, repackaged proprietary mixes. That's it. Again, I'm a scientist. I'm telling you the science. Whatever they're claiming. See, right away, they don't have, you've got to understand, Deb, they're quoting, they have no peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. You know why? Because when you submit yourself to a peer-reviewed human trial study, the journals, their responsibility is to prove what you're claiming to be false. And obviously that's what they did there. There are no studies. Do you understand? Company-funded studies, internal, that doesn't mean a darn thing. It's just, again, marketing hype with no substance. What makes this so different for all of you, is the fact that it's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. So let's do this real quickly, and then I promise I'll go through exactly what you do. So whether it's Nicole, or whether it's Denise, or whether it's Anthony, or Debt Eraser, if you'll tell me, well, male or female, how tall you are, your current weight, I'll tell you on this how rapidly you can lose weight and keep it off. It'll blow your minds. You'll think I'm making it up. And I'm going to give you the low numbers. I'm not going to, listen, the New Health Conversation, okay, like we had a PhD on and she studied PhD for 40 years. We've helped 500,000 people. 500,000 in 23 years. We have a pretty good idea from the data. We have data from 500,000 people, so we know if you're a man or woman, how tall you are and what your weight is, what you can expect. So, okay, so Denise, I'm 5'2", 175. Okay, Denise, at 5'2", in our world, maximum you want to be is about 115. That means 60 pounds. Get ready, Denise. In the first 4 days, you're going to lose at least 5 pounds. Thanksgiving, you should be 155. By Christmas, you'll be about 137, 138. So that means, let's go with 138 down to 115 is going to be 23 pounds. Denise, easily by the first week in February, you should be 115. Tell me how excited you'd be about that. That's without the loss of any water. You're going to gain 6 to 9% lean muscle mass, and you'll lose a whole dress size in 7 days on this. Now are you all excited and interested? Now let's keep going here. Who else? All right, Teresa, I'm 5'8", 240. Teresa, you're very tall. We would say max 140, that's about 100 pounds. Teresa, in your case, you're going to lose 6 or 8 pounds in 4 days. You should be easily, by Thanksgiving, 215 to 220. By Christmas, probably 200 or under 200 pounds. Let's go with 200. So you got 60 more pounds to lose. Easily. So January, February, yeah. Sometime in March, I'm not kidding you, you'll be, you should be 140. We see it all the time. Okay, so I did Denise. Okay, more. 5'7", 315, 40 years old. More. I need to know, are you male or female? Because that makes a little bit of a difference. Teresa Brandenburg, I'm 5'8", 240. Okay, Teresa, 5'8", 240. You would, I think I just did you. I'm sorry, I think I skipped over more, not on purpose. So more. Are you male or female? Female, okay. So more, 5'7", 315. Again, we probably want you to be, let's say 135. That means you need to lose at 135, what's that, 135, yeah, about 185 pounds. Okay, more. You're gonna probably lose 10 pounds in 4 days. I would tell you this, that by Thanksgiving, I'd see you at, oh my gosh, 195. At least 190 by Thanksgiving. Sorry, 290 by Thanksgiving. You should be 65, 270 by Christmas. So 270 to get you down to 140. It's 130 pounds. Let me do the math. Let's see. January, February, March, April. By the end of April or early May, easily, believe it or not, more, you should be 140. That's normal on this. It's not crazy. What you're looking at here is very average. Very average. And look, she lost 60 pounds in 90 days. But that's the average. I'll show you some extraordinary ones in just a moment, okay? So let me keep going here. So I did more and more. Teresa, I did you. Okay, Bada Hung. You're 5'7", 245. Again, we'd like you to be about 140. That's going to be, so you're talking about 105 pounds. That means 100. Oh, sorry. So let's see. You're 5'7". You're going to lose 8 or 10 pounds in 4 days. I didn't misspeak. 4 days, not 4 weeks. You should easily be Thanksgiving. I'd see you at about 220 to 222 by Christmas. There's no reason at all you won't be 200, probably below, maybe 198. So 198, that leaves you 58 pounds to go. Easily mid-March, you'll be 140. I'm not kidding you. Those are normal. We've worked with 500,000 people, so I'm not just pulling numbers out of the air. These are real numbers, okay? Let's keep going. Jess, 5'1", 200. Okay, Jess, at 5'1", you'd want to be no more than about 110. That's going to be 90 pounds. You'll lose 5 or 6 pounds in 4 days. Thanksgiving, easily 178, 180. Christmas, you should be about 155 to 158. So 158 to get you down to 110 is 48 pounds, January, February. Easily by first or second week in March, you'll be 110, Carolyn. That's not anything unusual. Again, I'll show you some more. There's nothing to buy. You're buying food. Here's the website. I'm going to put it in the chat for all of you. The new health. Or you can go follow the PhD in nutrition and maybe you'll lose a pound a week. I mean, it's so discouraging when I see people like that don't even open. This is going to change the world, and it was invented by the top people in the entire world, published in 10 major medical journals. Okay, let's keep going. Anthony, it's right there, the New Health Conversation. Go to that website. That's where you go, Anthony. You'll get a free coach. Do you see it, Anthony? Tell me if you can read it. Right there, the New Health Conversation. That's where you go. Let's see, encourage, how do we do this? Teresa, I'm going to explain it to you in just a moment. Okay, so Tayria, okay, 5'4", okay, 5'4", 120 max, that's going to be, that means you need to lose about 180 pounds, 182 pounds. You're going to lose probably 8 or 10 pounds in 4 days. Thanksgiving, easily about 275 to 280. Christmas, you should be 275. You should be about 255 by Christmas. So 255 to get you down to 120. That's 250, 135 pounds. Easily, I know this looks sound crazy to you, Terry. Let's go. January, February, March, April. Yeah, by the end of by the end of April, easily you'll be 120. Tell me how. Everybody, put in the comment, how excited would you be about this? Remember, I'm not making these things up, and it's all published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, and it's not a weight loss program. It's a detox, and I'm going to explain it to you in just a moment, I promise. More. You understand where to go? Here's the website for all of you to go. It's free coaching, everybody. A free consultation and free coaching. No gimmicks. You buy nothing from us. You're buying food. I'm going to explain it to you in a moment. You're going to eat food. There's no pills, lotions, potions, nothing. None of these schemes about eat whole foods and avoid sugar. Really? They've tried that. It's a miserable failure. Miserable. It's doing nothing to remove chemicals from your body. This is real, everybody. Real. Okay, Josie, 5'9", 220. Wow. Josie, you're tall. All right, so 5'9", again, I'd still like you to be around 145. 145 means 55 and 20, 75, about 75 pounds. So yeah, 75 pounds. So Josie, you're going to lose 6 or 8 pounds in 4 days. Easily, Thanksgiving, you're going to probably be you should be about 198. By Christmas, you're going to be 175-ish. So 175 down to 140, that's 30 more pounds. By the first or second week in February, Josie, you'll be 140 or 145. Tell me how excited. None of you are putting in the comments how excited, unless you think I'm making this up. I'm not making up a damn thing. This is real. What's not real is these people telling you that diets, oh, watch your carbs and limit sugar and eat whole foods. Really? How the hell is that working when 86% of you are going to be overweight or obese in 4 years, according to Johns Hopkins Medical School? This is an insanity that's out there, craziness. This is real, my God. It's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, not somebody giving me an opinion about something they read academically and they got a degree in nutrition. It ain't working. It ain't working. I get really excited for all of you. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. You think these people coming on and giving me opinions or doing anything like that, it's all nonsense. It's like chatter, chatter, chatter. No substance. I challenged them and said, okay, what you're doing, show me a peer-reviewed human trial medical study. You know what she said? Have a good day. Oh, man, sometimes it's fun. Okay, so Josie. Life week changing, excited, life changing. Okay, lube, 550, 280. Okay, 550, we'd want you to 120, that's 160 pounds. Get red lube of love. You're going to lose probably 8 or 10 pounds in 4 days. Thanksgiving, easily, probably 255. Christmas, probably close to 200 pounds. So let's use 200 to get you down to 120 is 80 pounds. That should take you January, February, March. By April, you should be 120. I'm not kidding you. These are real numbers. Listen, unlike people coming to give me opinions, we've worked with 500,000 people. You think we know what we're doing? But it's not our opinions. Everybody understand, we're showing you what they proved in 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies published in the biggest medical journals in the world. Not somebody giving me an opinion. Okay, you got a degree in what? And what is it doing? How is it helping people? You're going to have them lose a pound a week? How many of you would be excited about losing a pound a week? Because that's what you lose on diets. I'll challenge anybody. Tell me, if you were going to lose 20 pounds, be honest with me. How long would you give yourself? How long would you give yourself to lose 20 pounds? Be honest. Okay, who else has asked me? 120 by April. No, it's not. We see it all the time. I'll show you some more examples. Okay, I'm excited. I'm 152.8 today, but how tall are you? I'm excited about this. Just need to know how. I promise I'm going to show it to all of you, but I got so many people. Okay, 5'3", 252. Again, 5'3", we'd want you to be about 115. So 115 is 85 and 52, so we're talking roughly 130, about 134 pounds. 138 pounds, I think that is. Okay, so Nicole, you're going to lose in the first 4 days with that kind of weight. You'll be down 8 or 10 pounds. By Thanksgiving, you should be 230. By Christmas, you'd probably be about 205. So 205 to get you down to 120, 205, that's 85 pounds. Again, let me do the math. January. Yeah, by April, again, easily, you'll be 120. Does that excite you? Okay, so who's telling me I'm 152, I'm 5'4"? All right, again, you want to be around 125, so that's going to be 27 pounds. Get ready for this, Agent IP. You'll be down 6 pounds in 4 days. You're going to be at your goal by Christmas. You'll be no more. By Thanksgiving, you will probably be about 127. Oh yeah, Christmas you're gonna be, oh gosh, yes, you'll be 120 by Christmas. I'm not kidding you. That's not extraordinary. Well, look at her. Do the math. She lost 60 pounds in 90 days. Do the math. She lost 5 pounds a week. This is the low end of what people are doing. Wait till I show you what some people are actually doing. But let me answer all the questions. Rocket, would you be excited? Agent, tell me. Okay, we got listen. Talk about that. Okay, let me do one other thing. I know I make all of you crazy because this guy's long-winded. No, I'm going to give you the science, but I want you to see it doesn't matter. How in the hell are you going to make these numbers if you don't understand why that is and why it's not a diet and why it's different than anything you've ever done before? Talk about high school weight. Wait till you see this, ladies. This is the cover of Women's World Magazine, June 9th, 2025. The two women, the lady in the blue is a nurse. She's 57 years old. She lost 59 pounds in 3 months. The mom is turned to 81. She lost 110 pounds in a year. They both had kept it off for 3.5 years. I coached them, and the lady in the blue at 57 does weigh less than she did in high school. I know it sounds almost like science fiction, like we're making it up, but you got to understand, we don't have to make up anything because this is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. I mean, I don't care what health professional comes on here, whatever title they think they have, whatever they've studied, show me. Remember the commercial years ago, show me the beef? We say, show me the science. They don't have any. They have opinions. Opinions of why you're in the spot you're in today. This is not about weight loss. It has nothing to do with body dysphoria, body image. It's about you being able to have your own body remove poisons from you. That's why you're having all the bloating that you all complain about. You do. I had it. I went from a 42-inch waist to a 34-inch waist in 14 days 23 years ago. 8 inches. Listen, most of you ladies on this, you're going to lose a whole dress size in 7 days with no exercise. Tell me that doesn't excite you. And all you have to do is go to the website. The website's free to go to. And what's on the website? The medical proof and no products to buy. But if you go there and you like what you see, hold on just a second here. I'll type in the website for you right now on the bottom. The new health conversation. So if you go there, let me explain something to you. If you go there, we will not contact you. Why? Because it's the medical proof. Why should we need to contact you? We're not here to convince you or sell you. However, if you like what you see, scroll down. You get a free consultation and free coaching. Did you hear what I just said? The coaching is 100% free. They're going to show you the foods to order that I'm going to go over in a moment and how you do this, because it's a combination of what you're going to eat, which is food, and a new way of eating that you've never heard of before. But it's going to detox your body. So where do we get to the process? Right there. See the new health conversation at the bottom, 258. Do you see it? Alma. I need your docs and drain my lymphatic system. Alma, do you see right up there at the very, you also can see at the top that little red heart. That's our trademark, the new health conversation. It's a movement, everybody. There's no products. We don't have a company. It's a movement. Started 23 years ago with one person, me. And now it's grown. We've helped over 500,000 people. Again, when someone comes on, nice person, I'm sure, PhD in nutrition for 40 years. Great. What's your solution? Because your solution has got us from, in 1964, 10% of the population overweight. In 4 years, we're going to approach almost 90%. I think I'd reevaluate the degree you got. That's just my opinion. We're working with real people, 500,000. Now, I promise I'm going to show you all, but let me show you real quickly these other people. So first, let's just take a lady, only need to lose 30 pounds. 21 pounds and 38 inches in 30 days. But again, look at her stomach on day 1, everybody. Look at her stomach on day 30. That's with no exercise. They actually wear Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise. Why? Because the researcher didn't want exercise to be an outlier. Otherwise, you say, oh, she lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No exercise. Now you can exercise. Your coaches will go over that with you. Now, let's go to a 65-year-old man, a diabetic. How about that? 40 pounds in a month and 52. Look at his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides 242 to 124. That's in a month. It's not 9 weeks. You trying to tell me some PhD in nutrition can compete with this? Oh my gosh, it's so funny. It's sad, actually, because most of you, I'd say every one of you is on some form of counting calories, calories in, calories out. Do you know that 2/3 of you are going to gain more weight than you lost? Did you know that? According to Medicare, according to, here's another big study, why you shouldn't count calories. Well, truth is, calorie counting is a terrible approach for weight loss. While counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep it off long term. And what's even worse, 2/3 of people who try to count or restrict calories gain back more weight than they lost. That's all of you until now. This could be the do-over button for all of you. So, okay, so user 258, I'm 5'5", 160. This is the last one I'm going to take, and then I'm going to explain to everybody how they did this. Okay, so if you're 5'5", 160, we'd want you to be max 130, 30 pounds. Oh, user, you're going to lose, okay, the first 4 days you'll be down at least 5 pounds. You're going to be like, I can tell you right now, you'll be 140 by Thanksgiving, easily 120 by Christmas, probably before. I'd say within 6 weeks you could be at 120 based on the numbers that we see. Tell all of you, tell me, comment. How excited would you be about that? Yet you're following these PhDs and a health coach and a MD and a PhD without a shred of evidence. None, zero, none. The evidence is we're blowing up as a society. if nearly 90% of you are going to be overweight and obese in 4 years, are you excited about following the advice that you're being given? Paleo, keto, Mediterranean, time restricted eating, whatever. It's all dog water, nonsense. I'm fighting for all of you. I'm against the whole damn internet because I can't. They always want to attack me. Oh, I'm a PhD in nutrition for 40 years. Yeah? Where are your results? Where's your peer-reviewed human trial studies? They don't exist. So let's talk about what they did. So let's start with her. Let's just read through it real quickly. She lost 60 pounds in 90 days safely without starving or popping pills, using real food, it's food, for a natural detox in weeks, not months, while adding 6 to 9% lean muscle with no exercise. And she's kept it off, well, for 9 years. It's for her life so far. And is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. Okay? Now, what did they do? How did they invent this? The researchers who did it are rated, unlike, with all due respect to whoever was on before and they got a degree in PhD, that's great, but they're not the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world who had done 100 studies on human beings, what are called peer-reviewed studies, and they never found in 40 years a diet where people lost weight and kept it off. 2/3 of everybody gained more weight than they lost, and the weight they were losing on any of these diets, up to 25 to 40% of what you're losing is your lean muscle mass. And the problem with that, that's your Achilles heel of all your diets while you all yo-yo and gain all the weight back. Because if the weight, it's not if, the weight you're losing is lean muscle mass. And what happens in the body, because that's so inefficient, your brain slows down your metabolism. That's why you plateau. That's why you gain all the weight back. And if you haven't yet, you will, okay? The other thing that it does by losing lean muscle, it actually slows down your own immune system. So these very diets they're putting you on are actually making you unhealthy. It's sinister. I don't really think they understand. The only thing they've been taught is calories in, calories out, whole food, avoid sugar, lowered carbs. None of it works. None of it's working. It works until it doesn't, all right? So the researchers said, all right, we're going to abandon. Now, they were paid for 40 years as the top weight loss researchers in the world. If anybody would know about this, it would be them. And they said there's got to be a solution, and the solution is not counting calories. I'll give you an example. Can anybody on here right now tell me the definition of a calorie? What's a calorie? Do you know? I didn't know what they were 25 years ago. Because here's the problem. You're counting calories, and guess who can't count a calorie? Your body. Your body has no idea what calories are. So this calories in, calories out is just nonsense. You might as well be counting sheep. Only thing your body cares about is what? Well, 3 things keep you alive: air, water, and not calories, nutrition. You see, all your organs are run by nutrition. So think about it. Here's why your diet doesn't work long term. You go on a diet, you're reducing the quantity of food you're consuming. That's every diet by definition, right? But what they never tell you is you're reducing the nutrition. Well, when there's not enough nutrition, the brain senses that, freaks out, goes in starvation mode, and immediately turns to your muscles for fuel. It's not up for debate. So PhD, SMEHD, whatever, that's what's happening. Why aren't they telling you that? Oh, because I studied nutrition and I got a degree for 40 years. Yeah, 40 years, it's a disaster what's happened in 40 years. A disaster. Yeah, I'm very animated about this. You know why? Because my own mother was morbidly obese my whole life, and she died of obesity. She died herself to death. I hate diets, and these people that come on and tell me this nonsense. That's why I get so emotional. I lost my mom to these. She did every kind of diet there was. Sugar limiting. She went to Weight Watchers. She did carnivore. She did them all. I'm sorry to get so upset, but I am very upset for all of you. I'm fighting like hell for all of you to get this nonsense out of the way. It is not working. You can go wherever you want after this podcast today. Don't go back to counting calories, please. It's just a disaster. So the researchers went to these blue zones. These are areas in the world, where a lot of people live to be 100, no one's overweight, and no one gets sick. And they were doing 3 things that they incorporated into what you would be doing. Number 1, much smaller amounts, what they call serving sizes, but high levels of nutrition. It doesn't have anything to do with how much food's on your plate. Do you all understand that? It only matters how much nutrition are you putting into your body to make sure there's enough fuel to run what? Your body, your heart, your kidney, your liver, your lungs. You do not want to go into starvation mode when your body's going to use your muscles for fuel, slowing down your metabolism and your immune system. You're making yourself unhealthy. Whatever diet you're on right now, you're making yourself unhealthy. You are. And the other thing those people in the blue zones were doing every 2 or 3 months, they were detoxing. So the researchers, here's what you would get if you do this. You want to know? You're going to get food. You're going to get a food list from our coaches, free. By the way, the consultation you would do with the coach at our website or the coaching itself is free. There's no charge. We all got coached. We're paying it back in a sense. Okay? Now, so you get a list to take to your grocery store of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. No calorie counts, serving sizes. But they pick the foods for what? Their nutritional content. Nothing to do with calories. They don't want you counting calories, by the way. No calorie counting. But only 30% of whatever you spent last month total at your grocery store, you're only going to spend 30% this month at your grocery store. The other 70% of the money you have left and what you're going to buy and you're going to consume doesn't come from any grocery store anyway. So with all due respect to the PhD in nutrition, where are you going to get this food? Because this food comes from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. You talk about whole foods. This food represents huge amounts of nutrition and very little amount as far as how much is on your plate. But remember, your hunger is going to come from lack of what? Not quantity, nutrition. Am I making sense to everybody? So now you have the two food groups, 30% from your grocery store and 70%. So whatever you spent last month on food, that's about what you're going to spend to do this. Then they invented a new way of eating. 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods around the world. That was breakfast. You all would do the same thing. Lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a fourth meal after dinner. They call it the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. Again, with all due respect, you're not going to go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or Sprouts and get anything like this. All I can tell you is this was invented more than 25 years ago, and no one has ever replicated what was put together with what you'd be able to do. All right, now, 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store. Don't panic. You're only going to consume these exotic foods around the world, but this time you're going to eat 8 times a day. You're going to eat every hour and a half for 2 hours. Now, the diabetics on this know it had insulin spikes. People that weighed 400, 500 pounds weren't hungry. Again, if I can teach you anything, your hunger, that food noise you talk about, has nothing to do with how much food you're eating. It has to do with the lack of nutrition. The researchers solved it. But then they went one step farther. They did the most intense medical proof ever done of health, nutrition, and weight loss. First thing they did to prove it was a detox. They measured blood, stool, urine, and fat and proved this was assisting your body of pulling these poisons out of the fat cells, and that's why she shrank. Because we're all breathing, drinking, eating these poisons, whether you know it or not. And no whole food diet, low limit sugar. I mean, it's silliness, silly. Doesn't do anything. Your brain, to protect us, is stuffing these poisons inside your visceral fat, and that's why your visceral fat expands. How come all these diets they put people on, yeah, they lose weight, and they've got all this loose skin? Why? Because the structure of your body is the lean muscle that supports your fat. And don't let anybody ever tell you burn fat on a diet or exercise. It's a complete lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain fat cells, and they expand or contract. Look at how she shrank again, everybody. Shrank. So in addition to proving this is a detox through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, people, their hunger can 60% in a month. The diabetics in this had to cut their meds by 50% in a month, or the pre-diabetics were no longer pre-diabetic, but even more than that, inflammation, which is the underlying cause of every disease out there, came down 25% in 30 days. No whole food diet, limiting sugar, cut your carbs has ever touched inflammation. And the last part is maintenance. How easy is it to maintain the weight? Because I've kept the 40 pounds off for 23 years. Maintenance is simple. Breakfast this morning, these exotic foods around the world, lunch and dinner I'll have, so 3 meals, and then every 2 months I do another 48-hour detox. Now, why am I detoxing every 2 months? Because the toxins aren't going on vacation. Do you all get this? The main reason to do this is to detox. Not the weight loss is like the booby price, that's for sure. We don't even concern ourselves with that because we know that's going to happen. You'll lose as much weight in 4 days as 6 weeks of any stupid diet you've ever been on. And these people, they keep telling you, they're getting you, they're trying to tell you you're on the deck of the Titanic, and yeah, we hit a damn iceberg, and they're rearranging the deck chairs. Really? I mean, my God, it's so sad. This weekend, go to Walmart, Kmart, Target. Look at America. Look what's going on. I mean, I just told you that Johns Hopkins Medical School says in 4 years, 86% of you will be overweight, obese, and 50% will be pre-diabetic or diabetic. Doesn't that terrify you? Doesn't it make you mad? Because what we're being told just doesn't work. And these people want to come on and give me opinions. They don't have any medical proof. This is the breakthrough. You could have a completely different life. How many of you would be excited about losing as much weight in 4 days as 6 weeks of any diet? How much would that motivate when you stand on the scale in the fifth morning and your main thing is, my scale broke? I'm not kidding you. That's what I thought. I lost 8 pounds in 4 days 23 years ago. Huh? What? What? So you are making sense. Great. What am I eating for lunch today? I don't know. What are you? Look, all of you, the point is, yes, truth. Not sure it's the same person. It's the daughter of a friend of mine. Okay, let's put that to rest. Because if you really believe, hold on a second here. I got to extend our time here on TikTok. Can't believe I've already gone an hour. Well, hold on. Give me a second. Hold on just a second. Sorry. I had to reset the time. I'm sorry about that. No, it's the same person. As a matter of fact, if you don't think it's the same person and you think we're lying, then you're on the wrong podcast. I couldn't be more explicit. Do you really think, in my case, and let me explain my background, that I would Photoshop things? Because I've written 4 best-selling books from the biggest medical doctors in the world. They appeared 20 times on PBS. I was interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America and done over 1,500 live lectures around the world in front of over 500,000 people. Do you think I'd risk my reputation why would I need to Photoshop? Then that means I'd have to Photoshop this. She lost 21 pounds and 38 inches in a month. You can see her stomach on day 1, her stomach on day 30. Or this gentleman, 65 years old, 40 pounds in a month. Look at his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides 242 to 124. Do you really think, why would I need to Photoshop anything when this is the only protocol in the entire world that's published this protocol is published in 10, not 1, 2, 3, or 4 journals, 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, proving it's safe and it's real. So I want to clear that up. I get that a lot. I understand why you probably would say that. But then we've got all kinds of other proof, like look at Andy, 45 pounds and 60 inches in 30 days. And then again, I guess we Photoshopped Julie, 35 pounds in 37 days. That's like a pound a day. Now, I want to caution all of you, this is the top. When I'm giving you your numbers of how much weight you can lose quickly, I'm giving you about half of what these people have done. So is it possible? Would you be mad at me if you lose more weight more quickly? Because already we're having you lose as much weight in 4 days as in 6 weeks of any diet you've ever been told. Oh, do whole foods and limit your sugar and lot. It's just nonsense. It's nonsense. You're wasting your time. So who else would like to ask me a question? So what are we saying? We're dead, but insulin stops fat burning, makes you burn sugar for fuel. Insulin causes you to store fat in your body, actually, so that's not totally accurate. And what insulin does, its job is to take the sugar and stuff it inside the fat cells. But look, talk about insulin. Look at this. Here you go. Look at his A1C from 8. They had to cut his meds, his insulin, by 50% in 30 days. And that's medically proven, okay? Medically proven. There's nothing that compares with it. Nothing has ever compared with this. This, by the way, it was invented by a diabetic chemist 25 years ago, by a diabetic. Yeah, but even your better quality foods, here's the problem, 2/3 in the United States. Let me give you an example. A head of lettuce from 1957, Cornell University measured the iron levels to 2020. One head of lettuce in 1957, today, with your best attempt, you'd have to eat about 20 heads of lettuce. An orange from 30 years ago, 1 orange, today you could eat about 6. An apple from 30 years ago, today you have to eat about 8 apples to equal the nutrition of 1 apple. So it's good what you're saying, but the reason that the researchers limited the amount of food they let these people eat, only 30% from our grocery stores, because the food around the world is becoming nutritionally insufficient. The reason that they went and got these foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, they had inordinate, extraordinary amounts of nutrition. To give you an idea, to prove my point, Yes, Jess, I'm sure you have. But Jess, you're proving my point. Do you understand that the main thing you lost on that diet, however much weight you lost, was your lean muscle mass, which has slowed down your metabolism? Everybody on these diets, I don't care what the diet is, you're losing lean muscle. And you lose lean muscle, your body slows down your metabolism. So Jess, sadly, that's what's happened to you. But we have all kinds of people that had gastric bypass, they've had the sleeve, they had balloons. We've seen every kind of diet out there. We have people, Jess, all of you, with no thyroids. Their thyroid's removed. They had thyroid cancer. We have people with goiter and Hashimoto's and hyperthyroidism. We have people with no gallbladders. This is not a diet. That's what you need to all understand. This is nothing about counting calories. No, 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 no. It's about empowering your own body to detox, which it's capable of doing. But you'll never do it with food from even if you go to Whole, and I eat at Whole, get food from Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Sprouts. I love them. But 200 studies prove nutritionally, even organic is only about 10 to 12% better than regular food. So don't delude yourself that somehow organic is this panacea. We've overfarmed the fields in this world. Better living through chemistry, but as we've made more yield of food, the nutritional values have crashed. That's why they went to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. They didn't even find these foods. Other researchers had. So again, Jess, yes, Jess, oh my God, yes, it'll help you. Here's where you all can go, free website to all of you. So Jess, you want to go here, all of you. Listen to me carefully, everybody. I just posted it for you in the bottom of the New Health Conversation. So let me clarify a few things for you and for the censors. There are no products there. The New Health Conversation, which is, you can see at the top in red, right next to the heart, that's the website you go to. It's free to go there. If you go there, we will not contact you. We don't do that. The reason, Jess, we want you to be comfortable to look at the medical proof, including an interview, everybody, with the number one, not some PhD nutritional person. Nice, great, I'm glad you got your degree, but where's your solution? They don't have any. The number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the entire world. He does a long interview saying they will never recommend any traditional diet, this eat whole foods, whatever, ever again. They said it would be unethical. They've proven with this, and they have no products to sell. They don't have a company. It's the science that matters. And they published it for all of you, Jess, in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, which are on the website. You can see the medical journals. They're right there. But we don't want to make you feel like you go there and somebody's going to give you a sales pitch. We don't have to sell you anything. Those are the results. Here's the medical proof. You believe it or you don't. But listen to everybody. If you go there and you like the medical proof, scroll down, you get a free consultation and a free coach the whole time. Guess how much it is? $0. How much is the consultation? $0. How much is the coaching? $0. We all got coached. And what's happened, thank goodness, lots of people go on this, have these life-changing experiences, and then they come to us and say, hey, I'd like to help somebody else. Someone help me. You will get a coach, and the coaching is free. How much is the coaching, everybody? $0. Does that make sense to everybody? Jess, so you went to the website already and filled out the form? You already did that? Then you'll get called by one of our coaches maybe as soon as today. So is that what you did? So anybody else, agent, have you gone there yet? Good, Jess. Okay, well, you'll get contacted today. Terry, what is the regular, what will is, oh my God, yes. As a matter of fact, let me show you. Now, I'm going to show you a picture. You will think this is Photoshop. This is a man, 350 pounds. Now, let me clarify. Listen to me carefully. This is 7 weeks, not 7 months, okay? And what I want you to pay attention to is not just how much weight he lost, but wait till you see, including his blood pressure, what happened, okay? You ready for everybody now? This is 50 days, 7 weeks. Started at 350 pounds. He lost 75.6 pounds, and you can see there his blood pressure went from 149/81, it dropped to 103/64, and his triglycerides went from 278 to 115. I think you can all read it right there. Look at his stomach. He still has his stomach, but look at how much it went down. That's in 7 weeks, everybody. That equals more than, so he lost 75 pounds. Yeah, so he lost more than 10 pounds a week, average. You think there's anything on the planet like this? Do you really think Terry or anybody else is anything like this? There isn't. This is it. This is it. So Terry, do you see your blood pressure? How do you like those numbers? Tell me. Taylor, tell me how you like that. What do you think about those numbers? I mean, my God, when you're talking about 103 over 64, that's a hell of a good numbers. So, who else would like to ask me a question? We've been going an hour, and we don't. What? Come on, everybody, tap on the screen if you like this content. We're only at 839 likes. That's nothing. So, Alma, you know where to go? Alma, tell me, put it in the chat. You understand? All of you at the very top, see the little red heart? The New Health Conversation. Listen, everybody, it's free to go there. We won't even contact you. But if you get to choose for once, you're in control. If you like what you see, scroll down, get a free consultation and a free coach. How expensive is it? Zero. And the only thing, listen, don't confuse. I said free coaching, not free food. You're going to buy a month's worth of food. Only 30% from your grocery store. And 70% from these other foods you can't buy in a grocery store. They come from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. And you're buying from the researchers who went to those areas and brought this stuff back. One other thing I should tell you. Can you tell me how you should be eating? Well, Terry, part of what you get is a grocery list. I don't have it right here. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Your coaches will go over all that with you for free. They'll give you the list. Here's the list. Take it to the grocery store. And it won't have calorie amounts. It'll have serving sizes. So I'll give you an example. Like if you're going to eat steak or hamburger, it's got to be grass-fed and finished, not just grass-fed. If it's butter, it needs to be grass-fed butter. It's all laid out for you. If it's a carbohydrate, it's a specific kind of carbohydrate. For example, instead of having a white potato, you can have a sweet potato, for example. It's all laid out. There's nothing for you to figure out. It's right there. And they give you the serving sizes they want you to have. These are the top weight loss researchers in the entire world, in the whole world. Jess, are you excited? So, Taher, you're going to learn a whole new way. Yeah, you're going to learn a whole new way. Taher, we're going to coach you for good, Jess. But Taher, we're going to coach you for free. Those questions you're asking are great questions. Now, would anybody else like to ask me a question? Or more importantly, what I was doing before. Let me see if I missed anybody. See if any of the haters are out there. Okay, so let's see. I did Luba Love. Okay, I'm excited. Nicole, agent, user. Oh, wow, I haven't been that small since high school. Rocket. Will I have enough energy to still? Oh my God, yes, agent IP. You'll have plenty of energy. So where do we get the process? It's right there. It's at the top. Do you see it up there, the little red heart? Everybody, not the same person. Truth hurts. Well, you're wrong. The insulin debt, I went over that with you. Smaller pressure means. Yeah, but see, Truth, here's where you're off, okay? A calorie means nothing to your body. What you don't understand is you're not getting less nutrition. That's what you're missing. You're still hung up on calories. Your body can't count a calorie, doesn't know what a calorie is, has no idea what calories are. I'll give you a simple example. If you went today to fill up with gas and you have two choices, pump number one says this gallon will take you 20 miles. That's organic food you're used to eating. Pump number two said this gallon will take you 100 miles. That's what why do you think they went and got these foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand? They were much less volume of food, but super high levels of nutrition. And since that's the only thing your body cares about, that's why this works. With all due respect, truth hurts. That's the opinion that you would get from like the PhD in nutrition that was on here in 40 years, et cetera. But they have no solution. Do you understand? What they're doing is not working. Unless you think that in 4 years, 90% of Americans are going to be overweight, obese, 50% pre-diabetic or diabetic, and you think that's working. Does that make sense, Truth Hurts? It is. Don't get confused. You're still in that calorie mindset. Your body has no idea what calories are. So whether there's less calories or more calories, your body doesn't give a damn. It doesn't know. It only cares about how much nutrition it gets. And when you give the body enough nutrition, you're not going to be hungry. Not because you gave it less calories. I have reacted. Okay, so let's keep going here. Let's see who else would like to ask me a question. Okay. All right. Can you get these foods outside of the USA? Where do you live, Kimberly? because the answer is not everywhere. No, it's only available in the United States, Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, New Zealand, Australia, and the EU. It's not available in Africa. It's not available in the Caribbean. It's not available in South America. It's not available in Southeast Asia. So where are you located? Oh, absolutely Canada. Oh my gosh, my Canadian friends, absolutely. Look, I don't sell anything, but the researchers, they ship only to certain areas because number one, they only have so much they can, but also it's, I guess, government regular. I don't know what the deal is. We don't have anything to do with that. But Canada, absolutely, positively, yes, you can get it. Now, if you'd like, Kimberly, wow, if that's your name, that's unusual. I see a lot of names. That's the first time I've ever seen that. But anyway, if you want to tell me, Kimberly, how tall you are, your current weight, and I'll tell you how rapidly you can lose weight. And remember, you're going to keep it off for the rest of your life. And remember, you're not on a diet. You're not doing this to lose weight. You're doing it to detox your body. The throw-in is the number on the scale. That's the least important thing to us. Now, to you, maybe even more important. We're more concerned about the fact your body can detox, proven through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis. So if you want to tell me, Kimberly, I'll be happy to tell you how rapidly. Now, remember, Kimberly, we've helped in 23 years 500,000 people. Did you hear what I said? 500,000. So we got a pretty darn good idea if you're male or female, how tall you are and your current weight, how rapidly. We've got the data. Do you think a PhD nutritionist that I got 40 years of experience has helped 500,000 people? Not even close. Not even close. Oh, 5'6", 160. Okay, Kimberly. All right, so we'd want you to be max about 120. That's 40 pounds. Get ready, Kimberly. The first 4 days, you'll probably lose 5 or 6 pounds. By in a month, easily you're going to be it's not even fair because in a month you'll be 140. Christmas, you're going to be 120. Tell me how excited you'd be about that. I'm not kidding you. Because look at her. She had 30 pounds to lose. Look, she lost 21 pounds in a month. So I'm not stretching it for you to say easily you're going to be 120 by Christmas. Talk about a Christmas present. Kimberly, put it in the chat. How excited would you be about that? And Kimberly, where you can go, and all of you can go to this website. I'm putting it in the chat for everybody. The New Health. Whoops. So here's the website where you can go, Kimberly. It's free to go there. We will not contact you if you go there. The only way we'll contact you is if you scroll down and New Health Con. Okay, I want to make sure I spelled it right. So I just put it, Kimberly, right into your name in white, the New Health Conversation. Can everybody see that? It's a free website to go to. We will not contact you on my kids' lives or my grandkids' lives. The only way we'll contact you is if you contact us. How could we be fairer than that? And those coaches, they will answer all your questions. They're going to give you free consultation. Now, why do we do that? Because we got kids, I forgot to tell everybody that. We got kids as young as 2 doing parts of this. We got a lady 91 years old. We have people with no thyroids, people with no gallbladders. We have people obviously at high blood pressure, all kinds. So we do a thorough up front. And then they coach you for free the whole time. It's totally free. Kimberly, you go to the website here. It's not about the food. It's the food and it's what you're going to be, how you're going to be consuming it. So it's the New Health Conversation. When you go there, Kimberly, the only thing on the website is the medical proof, the actual medical studies, an interview with the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. If you like what you see, scroll down. You get a free consultation and a free coach, and the coaching's free the whole time. They'll give you the food list that you take to the grocery store, and they'll show you how to buy only 30% of what you bought last month, Kimberly, you're going to buy at your grocery store. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. They're going to give you serving sizes, not calorie amounts. The other 70% comes from these exotic foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand that you can't buy in your grocery store that represent huge amounts of nutrition in small quantities of food. Kimberly, does that make sense to you? That's what this is. That's what makes it work. Without those exotic foods, this would never work. They tried it. These researchers are the top in the world, Kimberly, rated the top. And they've done 100 studies on humans over 40 years and never found a diet that ever worked long term until now. Isn't that exciting? Denise, what most people tell me is that for a month, whatever you're spending, you're probably going to spend about the same, maybe another $25 a week. I'm just telling you what people tell me. So that includes because remember, you're only going to buy 30% of the food you currently buy at the grocery store. So 70% of what you're not buying at the grocery store goes towards these. Also, they can vary it. You maybe don't do the full program, maybe do part of it to work it into your budget. But you get free analysis from the coaches. They'll go over it with you. Because it can be as little as, I mean, you can be doing it for as little, if you do a limited version, you could do it for as little as like $4 a day. I mean, it's very, very affordable. Now, the full program is more than that. But again, we don't know anything about you. Are you on any medication? How much do you weigh? What have you tried? Do you exercise? I mean, all of those factors, they'll factor in. Does that make sense? But understand, Denise, your evaluation is free. And if you do decide to do it, the coaching is free. There's no charge. The only thing you're buying, Denise, is food. But don't get confused. The total food you're buying, 30% only from your grocery store. The other 70% from these exotic foods around the world. Look, nothing ventured. Go talk to a coach and see if it's doable. Okay? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are in that same boat. But again, you could do it limited and still have, you won't lose maybe weight but you're still going to lose weight faster than any diet you've ever been on. I mean, forget it. Even if you do the most limited version. Because maintenance, see, that's what maintenance is. Maintenance is about, let's say it's about $4 a day for maintenance, and it's your breakfast every morning. It's your breakfast every morning. Pretty easy to do it. So it's not some exorbitant amount of money. It's not like $1,000 a month or something. No, it's nowhere near anything like that. So again, who else? So Denise, I would go to the website. You can see I put it right above your head. Do you see it there, Denise? The New Health Conversation. All of you. I wrote it in there a couple times. And Kimberly, are you clear? Kimberly, also, you didn't comment about you losing that much weight, that fat by Christmas. If you're 120, how excited are you going to be? Isn't that the best Christmas present you could ever give yourself? Tablet, thank you so much. Denise, tablet. Oh, okay. Good, Denise. Remember, Denise, if you're on the website, we're not going to contact you. Every one of you, understand, we don't need to do that. Why would we need to contact you when that's the medical proof? You either believe the medical proof or you don't. It's that simple. So who else? Okay, so here's what I'd like to do. We got lots of new people on here. Alma, I can't imagine. Well, that's because you've never done anything like this before. No one has. So let me ask all of you this. Here's the thing. If you'll tell me if you're male or female, how tall you are and what your current weight is, I'll give you a realistic number, conservative number, how quickly you can get the weight off, keep it off for the rest of your life. Again, let me emphasize, the New Health Conversation is a movement. It's not a company, there's no products. The only thing you're buying is food, not from us. We have nothing to sell you. And we coach you for free. But the thing I want you to understand, so you don't think you're an experiment, there are two things that separate us from everybody else. We've helped 500,000 people, 500,000. And it's backed. Everything that I'm sharing with you, and again, for the censors, we're only sharing with you what they proved in these peer-reviewed medical journals. There are 10 different journals that prove this is safe, and prove that it's real. Again, I understand you're all skeptical. I understand you're pushing back. I understand I do make people mad, especially the professionals, because they have an opinion, but they're not looking at the reality. So seemed like a nice person. She come on, you didn't understand, I'm a nutritional whatever, I got a PhD in nutrition. Yeah? And how's that turning out for everybody? They're ignoring the fact that diets are miserable, miserable failures, and the only thing you lose. I'll give you an example. So let's take a look. See, this is what I didn't have time because she said, have a nice day, because I know she was pissed off at me. Okay. But here's the Journal of the American Medical Association. Let's get real now. They did a 12-month study. Let me tell you, the title of the study was Comparison of Weight Loss Among Named Diet Programs in Overweight and Obese Adults. They looked at 48 different trials, 7,286 people. And they named all the diets of which, like eat whole foods, limit your sugar, that's an approach. But keto, paleo, it's all here, it's listed. Keto, paleo, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, which is a complete hoax. That fasting 16 hours, eat for 8 is no better. Actually, it's worse than just lowering calories. It's a total scam. So fasting 16 hours and eating 8 has no impact on the overall weight loss. It's just nonsense, okay? Nonsense. So this is medical proof. After 12 months, Some of the diets only managed in a year, and this was 12 months, 11 pounds of weight loss. The most amount of weight loss on any diet in a year was 16 pounds, and 25 to 40% of what they lost on any diet was lean muscle mass. So that's what they're telling you to do? Would you all be excited about 11 pounds or 16 pounds in a year, and 25 to 40% is lean muscle mass, which makes you unbelievably unhealthy? I don't know what's wrong with these people. They're so indoctrinated. But open your damn eyes. Go to the mall, go to Target, go to Walmart. Look at what's happening to the world. We have 2.5 billion people overweight and 1 billion clinically obese. Does that sound to you like, oh, let's do Whole Foods and count calories? What a bunch of nonsense. Now, let's go to the shots, right? The GLP-1s. Oh, and they just made them cheaper yesterday. Okay, this is the New England Journal of Medicine. Probably the #1 medical journal in the world, right? You all probably heard of the New England Journal of Medicine. They did a 68-week study. That's a year and 4 months. Once weekly semaglutide in adults overweight or obese. I'm going to read from the study. These are my opinions. And you all can, as a matter of fact, this study is on the website. You can actually go and see it. Okay? We don't make things up. Okay? After 68 weeks, the weight loss was 32 pounds, and of the 32 pounds people lost, 40% was lean muscle, and this is clinically relevant reduction in body weight. She lost 21 pounds in a month and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. They're trying to tell you that 32 pounds in 68 weeks with a loss of 40% of lean muscle is healthy? Is healthy? Really? Really? And we're not against the shots. They're helping diabetics and people that are morbidly obese. But given the choice, 32 pounds in 6, that's a half a pound a week. A week, do the math. This is less than that, less than a half a pound a week. I mean, this is what you have available to all of you. This is what's available to all of you. Kimberly, are you excited, Kimberly? I hope you are. I mean, it's just so obvious that what we're doing is not working. Listen, everybody, tell me this. We're providing you with the only medical proof on all social media. Published in 10 of the biggest, well, it was published in the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, in Nutrients, the Nutrition Journal, Frontiers in Nutrition, and Nature Communications. Nobody else has one peer-reviewed human trial medical study. And the medical studies that were done, like the one in the Journal of American Medical Association, when they looked at all these diets, do you think that's great in a year to lose 16 pounds and 40% is lean muscle mass? You're smart people. You've just been given bad information. And I don't even blame the, PhD in nutrition. Great. What does that mean? It means it's not a damn thing. You have no solution and it doesn't work. You all know it doesn't work, right? Oh, great, Kimberly. Wonderful. So, Kimberly, do you have any questions for me? And Kimberly, let me ask you a question, or 2 questions real quick. 1, are you aware of anybody else on all of social media with one shred of medical evidence like I've presented to you today? Please tell me and let me know. Or same thing, Denise, are you aware of anybody on anywhere on social media showing you real medical proof? Not a company-generated study, not a paper, not a scientific paper, real medical proof. And then secondly, Kimberly, I'm just very curious, in particular, what was it about this, let's call it headline, flyer, whatever you want to call that, got you to stop to listen to the podcast? And the reason I ask you that is the New Health Conversation is a movement. There's nothing to buy, it's not a company, but we want to reach as many people as we can in the world. That's my dream. So by us having the right, whether it's of the before and after or the right verbiage, I love the feedback from people like yourself that actually did stop and listen to the, what was it about that? And then I can use it in the future we're always constantly tinkering with the verbiage and whatever to try and get as many people as possible. All we want to do is share the information. We don't have anything to sell them. The only thing we do is educate people. No, and I've tried most of the diets and my A1C went up and I gained weight on all of them. None of. Right, there you go, Denise. Fantastic. Yeah, that's the problem. So again, Kimberly, those 2 questions. And you aware of anybody else with any medical proof? And secondly, what was it about? Oh, that's a good attitude. Really good attitude. And Kimberly, do you understand that's miraculous weight loss? But let me show you another one that's, I mean, this is what, Kimberly, this is what you can anticipate because you don't have very much weight to lose, right? But look at, hold on, let me get it. Look at that transformation in 37 days. Look at how much her whole body shrank. Kimberly and Denise and everybody else listening, women on this lose a whole dress size in 7 days. And no one was allowed to exercise. They have to wear Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise because they didn't want exercise to be an outlier. Otherwise, you'd say, oh, it was diet and exercise. See, to me, Kimberly, that's miraculous. That's near the high end of what we've seen. Or, you know, this gentleman here, Curtis. I mean, look at that, a 65-year-old man, Kimberly, 40 pounds and 52 inch. But look at his A1C. Denise, look at his A1C. It went from 8.4 to 6.4. They cut his insulin by 50% in a month. No one's ever seen anything like this. And the difference is we have the medical, but blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides all came down dramatically, everybody, in just 30 days. See, Kimberly, that to me is miraculous. But it's so cool because you took the average, which everybody does, and they can't even believe that's possible. Oh, that's unhealthy to lose that much weight that fast. Says who? Because on a diet, it would never happen, number two. And the reason they warn you that about diets, don't lose more than a pound a week on a diet, Kimberly, we know that 25 to 40% of every ounce, every pound you lose in is lean muscle mass. That's why. On here, he gains 6 to 9%. My God, look at his stomach on day 1 and his stomach on day 30. Do you think he'd rather have the stomach on day 1, or do you think he likes the stomach? But it's not about body image. It's not about any of that. It's about his health. The fact he shrank because his body's detoxing, his body's showing him. It's that simple. So, anyway, who else would like to ask me a question? Or if you'll tell me, yeah, Kimberly, I know food is the answer to the experience. I used to be able to control my weight, but menopause. Oh, this does wonders for menopause, perimenopause. We have people with PCOS. Like I said, we have, Kimberly, we have people with no thyroids, let alone Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, goiter. Oh, yeah, you've got to understand. See, everybody wants to put this in a box and compare it to a diet, like that PhD, nutritionist, whatever, because that's all she knows. Okay, so you've got a degree and you've been doing it 40 years. What if you studied the wrong? See, because everything she's been taught is wrong. Doesn't make her a bad person, but she's so locked in. I can tell when they say, have a good day. She's, pissed off. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, you don't have any medical studies at all. Don't show me a textbook, outdated textbooks, telling people about calories in, calories out, limit your sugar, cut your carbs. It's just silly. It's just ridiculous. Who in the hell will argue with the fact that what we're doing is working? Kimberly, do you think what we're doing is working? With 2.5 billion people overweight in the world and 1 billion clinically obese? Is that working? I'd hate to see if it wasn't working. Oh, man, sometimes I just have to laugh. I can't, the detractors that come on and call me all kinds of names. But, the thing is, Kimberly and everybody else, it's just when you have real medical proof, you're impenetrable, it's irrefutable. So whatever slings and arrows they're slinging, you have like in Star Wars, you have a protective shield around you. They're bouncing off. Oh, man. I have the greatest job in the world. You know why? Beezy, the answer is, hey, Cindy, good morning. Wow, Kimberly, wait a second. Who just came on? You see the lady in the blue dress? Cindy, the nurse. Wow. I swear to God, it's not a setup. I didn't know she was going to come on. Look at everybody. The lady in the blue dress on the cover of Women's World, June 9th, the #1 magazine for women in the world. She lost... it's incredible. You can ask her questions. Here, it's her. She's here. Hello, Cindy. Thank you. Good morning. Yes, it's me. So, Bees, honey, ask her. How did she lose? Cindy, how much weight did you lose? How quickly? And how much have you? Best program I ever found worked for me and my mom amazingly. So, how much weight did you lose in what period of time? And the most important thing you need to understand, Bees, to honey, she's kept it off for 3.5 years. But Bees, that's her in the blue dress. That's her. Look, as a nurse, is so many safe and effective, all natural. No, I know you can't hear her. I can't hear her either. Can you see what she's writing, Bear? Can you see what she's writing? See, she just said, good morning, bees. Did you see that, bees? Can you read that in the chat? You see her picture on the left, and there she's reaching out to you. Good morning, bees. Oh, look, bees. I lost 54 pounds and 48 inches below my HESCO weight, and I kept it off for 3 years. Oh, you can read. Great, bees. So, bees, would you like to ask her a question? She's a nurse. And bees, again, that's her right there in the blue dress. I had no idea she was coming on. I swear to God, it's not a setup. Every once in a while, she drops by. I never know when that's going to be. How? Doing what? Okay, Cindy, you want to just give her a quick overview? And I'll go more in detail, bees, I promise. My mom is 81. Listen, look at that, bee. She lost 109 pounds and kept it off. We tried everything before. All right, bees, let me make it easy for you. Cindy, you can just verify what I'm saying. So bees, what they did was not a diet, okay? Number one, this was invented by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world, and it is a detox. So let me ask you a question, bees. Do you believe we're living in a toxic world, and do you believe you're toxic? If you do, what that means is we're drinking, we're breathing, we're eating not just chemicals, but poisons, things like herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon and flame retardants. And as they enter your body and my body and Sydney, her mom's body, the brain takes those chemicals and stuffs them inside your visceral fat. That's the fat around your organs. We know this is happening, and those fat cells expand. That's why you probably are complaining, like most people do, about bloating. So the researchers who had done 100 studies on humans for 40 years, paid to analyze diets, realized that there was no diet that ever worked where people lost weight and kept it off, and 2/3 of everybody gained more weight than they lost. And the weight they were losing was up to 40% was lean muscle mass. So when they constructed this, it was based around the concept of detoxification, which they learned from people in one of these blue zones bees. Maybe you've heard of them. People living to be 100 years old, no one's overweight, and no one gets sick. And they do 3 things we don't do that the researchers incorporated into this protocol. Number 1, much smaller amounts of food, but very high levels of nutrition. And number 3, they detox. So here's the program. The researchers put together a food list, bees, that Cindy got and her mom. You would get it. You'd take it to the grocery store. It would contain proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, vegetables, salads, but serving sizes. Nothing to do with calories, bees. There's no calorie counting on this at all. And no one here was allowed to exercise, although you can exercise if you want to, right? So that's 30% of the food. So take whatever you spent last month on food, bees. You're only going to spend 30% this month, okay? The other 70% comes from other researchers who went to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition and very small amounts of food, which is the key also to allow your body to naturally detox, okay? At the end of the day, this is a detox. The weight loss is kind of like a bonus, all right? So now the researchers had the food groups, right? Now, bees, in case you didn't know, last night when we all went to sleep, as long as we didn't eat too late, the body all but stops digestion. And when that happens, it automatically turns on a natural detox mechanism called autophagy, when your body gets rid of all the dead cells. But that process is not strong enough to pull these poisons out of the fat cells. So the researchers, by using these foods with tremendous amounts of nutrition and very small amounts of food, in essence, we're able to make the body detox. So 5 days a week, you're not detoxing, you're having 4 meals a day. You're starting with these foods from around the world. That's what Cindy and her mom did. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner, the world's most perfect meal. So you're eating 4 times a day, 5 days a week, until you lose your weight. 2 days a week, you do the detox, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods from around the world. But this time, like I said, you're eating 8 times a day, every hour and a half to 2 hours. The first thing they saw, the diabetics on this, their need for insulin came down 50% in a month. People that were 400, 500 pounds were not hungry. Because see, the thing is, bees, you've never in your life ever been hungry for a calorie, and here's why. Your body has no idea what calories are, doesn't care about calories, has never been able to, concept of a calorie is ridiculous. The researchers then did the most comprehensive medical research, bees. Medically, they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis and proved this was removing the chemicals from the body. That's why she shrank so much, and that's why a lot of people think, oh, it's a different woman. It's the daughter of a friend of mine. It's not a different woman, okay? And the other things that they saw, the need for insulin came down 50% in a month, and then inflammation, which plagues all of us, and no diets ever touched this, came down 25% in a month. And then maintenance is so simple. That's what Cindy and her mom are doing. Every morning they have the world's most perfect meal for breakfast. They have lunch and dinner, so 3 meals a day, and every couple months they do another 48-hour detox. So that's as fast as I can go to kind of explain it to you. Now, if you do decide to do it bees, there's a free website. I'm going to put it in the chat at the bottom, okay, right here, the new health conversation. And what's there is only the medical proof. If you go there, we won't even contact you. But if you like what you see, bees, you scroll down, you get the consultation is free and the coaching is free the whole time. Look what Cindy said. I never felt deprived, absolutely best feeling ever. And then she said, helped my inflammation. It was gone in just 5 days completely and has never come back. So bees, they're not on a diet. Now do you understand how to do it? But bees, at a minimum, go to the website. We're not going to contact you. You get to see the medical proof, including an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. Or would you like to now ask Cindy a question because she's telling you what they experienced? Or anybody else that would like to ask a question? Because right now we have the lady in the blue dress, Cindy Carpenter. She's a nurse in Florida. She did this and lost 54 pounds, and she's kept it off for 3 years. Her mom, 81, lost 109 pounds. She's kept it off for 3 years. It's not a diet, it's a detox. And this is the #1 women's magazine in the world. You don't get on the cover of this. You can't advertise to get on the cover of this magazine. So who else would like to ask a question? So bees, do you understand now? Give me a yes, please. FBI joined. Wow. Well, FBI's gone. You were there, now you're gone. Aya's joined. Hello, Aya. Were you on a little while ago, Aya? Oh, there you're gone. Sorry, Terry, bees to honey. Hi. Were you on earlier, Aya? Because Aya, who we're talking to is the lady, see the lady in the blue dress on the cover? She's a nurse in Florida, 57 years old, lost 54 pounds. Her mom on the left is 81, lost 109 pounds. They both have kept it off for 3 years. And it's not a diet, it's a detox. Oh, okay. There was someone with your name. So, Aya, here's what I'm willing to do for you. And by the way, she's live right now. The lady in the blue dress is on the chat. So you can ask, look, here she's saying, it helped my menopause issues as well. I have minimal issues. Not that you have menopause, Aya. We're not, I don't know you, so don't read into that. But Aya, here's what'll blow your mind. If you'll tell me how tall you are and your current weight, I'll tell you this is not a diet, but I'll tell you how quickly you can lose the weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. Look, this lady here, 60 pounds in 90 days, safe, without starving or popping pills, using real food because it's based on real food, a natural detox in weeks. She gained 6 to 9% lean muscle with no exercise, and she's kept it off actually for 9 years now, and it's published, proven to be safe in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. So you're not an experiment. We've helped 500,000 people in 23 years do this, including Cindy and her mom, these two ladies right here. So if you, okay, 5'3", 85 kilo, okay. So you're 175.3. Okay, I would say we'd want you to be around max 60 kilos. So that's 25 kilos. All right, so first of all, Aya, you're going to lose 2 to 3 kilos in 4 days. The first month, easily, you're going to be 65 kilos. And I mean, you're almost there in a month, believe it or not. So you should absolutely be at 60 kilos no later than Christmas or before. Tell me how much that would excite you. Now, you must be in the UK or Ireland, you're somewhere in the EU, because you're telling me in kilograms, which is fine, because it's available, but it's not available everywhere in the world. So I want to caution you, it's available in the United States, in Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, New Zealand, Australia, and the EU. It's not available anywhere else in the world. So if you're in one of those regions, it's still available. Oh, UK. Oh, great, great. Well, Aya, why don't you ask Cindy a question? It's the lady in the blue. You can see her there, I'm sure, right? That's her. She's a really nice lady. And her and her mom are stars, because this is the #1 women's magazine in America. And here's a 2-page story about their new protein miracle. It was June 9th this year. You could probably get it online, but go ahead and look, Cindy's talking to you. Can you see what she's saying to you, Aya? I have a friend who is a nurse in the UK, and she's doing amazing with this protocol. Aya, how would you like this? I'm gonna go on a limb. Cindy, thank you for volunteering. Aya, if you decide you want to do this, Cindy, she'll do a free consultation with you, and if you do decide to do it, she'll coach you. I will hook you up with Cindy since she's already working with other people in the UK. How would you like that, Aya? And remember, Cindy has nothing to sell you. There's nothing to sell. She'll give you the grocery list, and then she'll coach you the whole time. Oh, you see that, Cindy? So, Aya, make sure when you go to the website, there's nothing to buy there. You got to scroll down to get the coach. Put in the chat, I want to work with Cindy. Otherwise, we won't know. Because like I said, we had another Aya today, so I won't know which Aya was it. So does that make sense? So Cindy's saying hi, and I think Aya's saying hello, babe. Must be a greeting they have in the UK. But Cindy, just reassure you're a nurse, and how amazing has this been for your patients? Because I know you've put a lot of patients on it. Am I correct? How's that? Look at Aya. She said, I'll definitely help you. And Aya, here's where you go. The new health. And Aya, it's not a setup. I had no idea that Cindy was going to be on because she's a nurse and works all kinds of shifts. So when she comes on, it's actually a treat for everybody. But you're winning the jackpot because she'll coach you. I mean, I can't believe I have a famous friend on the cover of the #1 women's magazine in the world. And I did coach these two, the mom and the daughter. I was very privileged. That's how I've known her for more than 20 years. It only took me 20 years to get her to do this protocol. But she's pretty happy she did now, No, no. Oh, Cindy, where is the lady in the UK? Oh, Peter, you're the best coach. Thank you for everything. I get too much credit. But where in the UK is your person, Cindy? Aya's asking you. I'm sure she's typing, Aya. Aya also, okay, she's going to look. So Aya, another thing, when you fill it out, make sure put in your WhatsApp phone number for Cindy because she will call you, text you, Facebook you, whatever, to do your evaluation. And then if you do decide you want to do it, she will coach you the whole time. And we use the WhatsApp because number one, it's free, and number one, then we don't have to worry about country codes and all that other stuff. So I don't want you to. Oh, do you see? Aya, Isle of Man. Okay. So is that Isle of Man, Aya, isn't that an island sort of off of the UK? I mean, Isle of Man, is it connected? Is it connected, or is there a peninsula, or do you have to get there by boat? Because I know I've heard that term a bunch of times, etc. So, Aya, how excited would you be by Christmas to be 60 kilos? Would you be pretty excited? Oh, I don't know about that. Well, you and Cindy can discuss that. So, Aya, are you excited? Pretty good to start out at the top and work your way. And then look, obviously she's a top coach, and she's a nurse, so medically as well. So it's really, really cool. I am excited. All right. And remember, Aya, put your WhatsApp and make sure you put in the little thing, I want Cindy as my coach. Because otherwise we won't know, because we have a lot of people that are requesting coaches, obviously. Look what she's saying, Cindy. I can't wait to see myself. Yay, me too. But Aya, let me ask it. I know it's a stupid question. First of all, Aya, you're going to lose a whole dress size in a week, ask Cindy. But more importantly, when you walk in on Christmas Day and you're 60 kilos, is there a better Christmas present you could ever give to yourself than that? But remember, your health is going to go through the moon. The main reason to do this is not to fit into your skinny jeans. It's to get you as healthy as possible for the rest of your life. Because the other cool thing, it's sustainable. Cindy, see what she's telling you there, Cindy? Aya, it's so simple and easy, you are going to be amazed. Good, good. And one last time, Aya, I'm going to put it in. Just make sure, photo shoot it, do whatever you want to do. Here's the website, the New Health. Hold on. Whoops. Help if I could spell, everybody. The new okay, there it is. I just posted it one more time for you. The new health conversation, okay? All right, who else would like to ask me a question? And we're stuck at only 800 likes. Really? Did I suck this morning? Come on, everybody. Just tap on that screen. Let's get some heart. Give me some love. I've now been 1 hour and 49 minutes, and I've only earned 86 likes. Really? I must have done something wrong. I'm kidding. No, Aya, go right to the new health conversation and fill in the form and make sure you put your WhatsApp phone number so Cindy can get a hold of you. Because if you do it right away, there's even an outside chance she may even be able to still get a hold of you today. I don't know what your schedule is, Cindy. And I promise you, Aya, the minute I sign up, I'll go to the website. So please go there as soon as you can, and then I'll send your information to Cindy, and then she'll reach out to you. Cindy, what's your area code, just so you'll know, or your WhatsApp? What's your first 3 numbers? Can you put it in the chat so I'll know? Oh, see what you're saying? Yeah, I'm working tonight, but if you want to follow me, that's fine. Yes, and we'll connect. Okay, great. All right, Aya. Well, I'm really excited for you. This is what a great meeting. So, who else here? Hello, Ree. Who else would like to ask us a question, or Ree, or anybody else? If you're willing to tell me if you're male or female, how tall you are and your current weight, I'll tell you how fast you can lose weight and keep it off. How's that sound, everybody? Pretty good? Let's see, who else have we got here? I missed some people, I think. Oh, Lisa, Heather, Kurt. Okay, Heather, Lisa, 4,000, Ree. If anybody wants me to give them and I'm going to give you a conservative estimate. I'm not going to give you like the most you could lose. I'm going to give you the least you're going to lose. And that least is going to be, you're going to lose as much weight typically in 4 days as 6 weeks of any diet you've ever been on. I'm sure that Cindy would validate that. Cindy, when you did this 3 years ago, how much weight did you lose in 4 days? Do you remember? Oh, 69, 5 feet. So Heather, you're 5 feet and 199, just to be clear. Yes? All right, Heather, if that's the case, we'd want you to be about 100 pounds. That's 99 pounds. Now, Heather, get ready for this. In the first 4 days, you're going to lose between 5 and 7 pounds. Thanksgiving, you should be 179. By Christmas, 179. Probably 162. Let's go, so 162, we'd want, so 62 pounds, Heather. And I'm giving you the slow version here. Let's see, 62 pounds, 3 months. So January, yeah, by March, Heather, you'll be 100 pounds by March. And that's with no exercise. Can you imagine that, Heather? First of all, tell me how excited you'd be. And Heather, you're going to lose a whole dress size in the first week. But imagine walking in on Christmas Day, right, and you're 132 pounds. Tell me, yeah, I know, Heather. But you got to understand, let me show you a woman. See, you need to lose, I'm going to show you a woman who needs to lose 30 pounds, how fast it goes, right? So look at, here, Kirsten. Look at this. She lost 21 pounds in 30 days. Do you understand? So I'm not giving you some outlandish, and now this is the averages, meaning this is about the least amount you can expect, Heather. I'll show you extraordinary here. Julie, look at this. Oh, Julie. 35 pounds in 37 days, Heather. Look at that. I'm going to explain it to you in a second, Heather, I promise you. But Heather, just comment on that. 35 pounds in 37 days. What I want you to see, Heather, is look at how much your body shrank. So I'm going to explain it to you. It's a detox. It is not a diet. There's no calorie counting. They weren't even allowed to exercise. It's 100% based on detox. But look at her body, no loose skin. Do you see that? So let's come back to the first one. All right, so let me explain to you, Heather, what this is. First of all, Heather, do you believe we're living in a toxic world? And do you believe you're toxic? The reason that's critical, if you don't, you're on the wrong podcast, because this is not a diet, it's about detoxification. And what detox means, or what toxins mean, is that we are breathing, we're drinking, we're eating chemicals and poisons, things like herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon. And I wouldn't have to ask you, I'm sure that you, like everybody else, are complaining not just about the weight, but the bloating that you experience, right? But you've got to understand what your body's doing to protect you. And the reason you're bloated, it's not because of what you're eating, et cetera. It's because your body is taking those poisons and stuffing them inside your visceral fat. Your visceral fat is the fat around your organs. And as the body forces the chemicals to protect you in the fat cell, those fat cells expand. Here's one thing to notice, Heather. It's not about what you're eating. That's not why your fat has expanded. It has nothing to do with body image or body dysphoria. It has to do with medically, in order for your body to protect you, it's what's called encapsulating or enrobing those chemicals in the fat itself. And actually the chemicals are called lipophilic. That means it's a fancy word for loving fat. And the chemicals, that's where they go. But the body's directing them there. So what happens on this, it empowers your own body to pull the chemicals out, and that's why they're shrinking. Like, that is the same woman, and people say, oh, it's a different woman. It's the daughter of a friend of mine. I don't need to Photoshop anything, okay? You got it so far, Heather? So let's talk about how does this work. So first thing, Heather, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but last night when we all went to sleep, including you, as long as you didn't eat too late, your body slowed down digestion, and when that happens, your body automatically, without you doing anything, turns on a natural detox mechanism when we're sleeping called autophagy, when the body gets rid of all the dead cells. It happens every single night. So basically, the researchers knew that. They said, well, is there a way we could do that when people are awake? They found the answer in these blue zones, Heather, and you've probably heard of them. That's where people live to be, a lot of them live to be 100, no one gets sick, and no one's overweight. And there were 3 things they were doing that facilitated them being so healthy and not being overweight. Number 1, smaller serving sizes that had nothing to do with the calories, because they had huge amounts of nutrition. So it wasn't that they had less food by volume, it was that they had more nutrition, which is the only thing your body cares about. And then they detox. So now here's what you physically would do. So you'd get a list, you'd literally get a list from our coaches. By the way, the coaching is free on this, the consultation's free on this, I'm not kidding you. You get a grocery list, you take it to the grocery store of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But again, instead of calorie counting, they give you serving sizes. And only about 30% of the food you bought last month. Take your total food budget, take 30% of it, that's all you're going to buy on this protocol. The other 70%, and here's how it works. 70% of the food you're going to buy and pay for out of your budget comes from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, from other researchers, and you buy directly from them. You buy nothing from us. We don't have any products to sell. There's nothing. That website, the New Health Conversation, is an educational site. It's a movement. We've helped, Heather, so you're not an experiment, we've helped over 500,000 people in 23 years. So we know what we're doing, and the numbers I'm giving you are based on the data from 500,000 people, okay? And so what we know that the researchers did, they created a new way of eating. So 5 days a week, like I said, you'd start with these exotic foods from the world. That's your breakfast. Lunch from your grocery store list that you would have, dinner from your grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner from these exotic foods around the world. 2 days, now this is only until you lose the weight. 2 days a week, you detox. And on a detox day, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time, you're going to eat 8 times a day. You're going to eat every hour and a half for 2 hours. And what you're doing, you're setting your body up to do what? To detox. Now, how do they know it's real? Wow, how come it's not just a sales presentation? Here's why. They put this under the most intense medical research that's ever been done, Heather, in history, where they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, proving this was helping the body remove the chemicals, and that's why she shrank so much. But it didn't stop there. Blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, all came down dramatically in 30 days. And here was the big one, inflammation, which you and me and every person in the world suffers from. It came down 25% in 30 days. By the way, inflammation is the underlying cause of every disease out there. So those aches and pains or stiffness, pretty much they're greatly diminished in just in a month when they did the analysis. Now they've done follow-up. They've followed these people now for 9 years. They've all kept the weight off for 9 years. That's why she said they kept it off for life. Well, that's it. The 9 years, that's as long as she's been alive on the program, not that she's 9 years old. You get it? And then maintenance is really simple. You have the world's most perfect meal. I had it this morning for breakfast before I came to the studio. And then you have a lunch and dinner, not 4 meals, 3. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then every 2 months, do another detox. And that's it. Now, two more things, Heather. If you like what you see, you can go to this website. It's free to go there. The New Health Conversation. Hold on. Let me put in the chat. And we will not contact you, by the way, if you go there. The reason for that is we want you to be comfortable. What did you have for breakfast? These exotic foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. Not bacon and eggs. Not that I don't have it occasionally, but I mean, basically, Heather, understand that these meals, the researchers called the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. To give you an idea, Heather, unless you're on a prescription for iron or calcium deficiency, those food groups would represent, you ready for this, 400 different nutrients. You literally would have to take 400 different pills to equal what's in you. I don't know about you, but I can't take 400 pills. Nor do you need to. So the researchers are saying basically if you go on this on maintenance, you don't need any supplements at all, period, zero, unless you're on, like I said, low iron or calcium. That's it. Other than that, you don't need any. That's what's so great about this. It's a total package. But it's designed, its whole key is detoxification. The weight loss is almost the booby price. We don't even, because it's not a diet. You're not on a diet, you're detoxing. And we all need to be detoxing, Heather, not just, the reason you want to do maintenance is because the toxins aren't going to go on vacation. Did you see that, Heather, 2 weeks ago? 1 cup of Starbucks coffee, you're getting 25,000 microplastics in each cup of coffee. And 3 months ago, they're finding microplastics in our brain and in our coronary arteries. When they're doing coronary bypass surgery, they're finding plastic in our, really? Oh my God. I mean, yes, it's really happening. So Heather, what do you think about that? Oh yes, absolutely, tastes great. It's like you can't believe how good it tastes. Well, these people in these ancient civilizations, they're not going to eat stuff that it's not pleasurable. Listen, nature is so smart that it made food pleasurable. Otherwise, we'd starve to death. Oh, Lisa, sorry, not to get any of these foods. Lisa, 30% of what you would get, you buy at your grocery store. Yes. The other 70% you buy directly from the researchers who had gone to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. So no, you can't buy those foods at your grocery store. But that's the whole point, is the fact that it's the combination of the foods in a very, very specific eating pattern that makes this work. Does that make sense, Lisa? And remember, Lisa, you're going to get the grocery list. You take it to your grocery store, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, serving sizes. Then the other foods, but you've got to, oh, Lisa, let me explain to you and also to Heather. What you're also going to get, I forgot to mention this, kind of important. The researchers who created this, not me, the patients that they put through, like her, she got this called the Blueprint for Success. And each one of these yellows are daily videos from the researchers who created it, telling you this is why you're doing it, this is why it's healthy, this is what's going on in your body. They talk about things like menopause and perimenopause and all kinds of health issues for men and women. You're literally getting educated by the top researchers in the world, and they have no products to sell. They don't have a company. The only thing they're interested in is making sure that people get to you. So in other words, what you're going to do, Lisa and Heather and everybody else, you're doing exactly what they did in these published peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. The foods they ate, when they ate, how much they ate, what the food lists were, what the timing was, you're doing exactly. So basically, you're going through the peer-reviewed human trial studies only, well, for example, you're not doing blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis on a daily basis, but you are measuring. Okay, so for example, let me just show you here. Like Kristen, when we talk about she lost 38 inches, those are measurements, the neck, the chest, the stomach, abs, calves, etc. And the reason that the researchers want you to do that, it's a non-invasive way of telling you that the only way those inches can go down is if you're detoxing. We're less concerned about the number on the scale than actually we are about the inches. So if someone lost, like say 10 pounds, and they lost like 2 inches, we'd say, wait a minute, something's wrong, it's not working. The inches are the most important thing. Why? Because it's validating for you that you're pulling the poisons out of your body and your fat cells are shrinking. Imagine on this, everyone, Lisa and Heather, you're going to lose a whole dress size in 7 days. 7 days. With none of them were allowed to exercise. Actually, she wore a Fitbit to prove. But again, Lisa and Heather, look at her stomach on day 1. Look at her stomach on day 30. That's the detox. Imagine, that's not body disfigure. It's nothing body image. No, That's your body telling you you're getting healthier. So you need to see that shrinkage, not from a vanity standpoint of view, but from a health standpoint of view. And you think about it in all these diets, why do you end up with all the loose skin? Because 25 to 40% of what you're losing on any diet is lean muscle mass. And your lean muscle mass is the structure that holds up everything else. And you all know it on every diet, especially if you lose, a lot of weight, you have all that loose skin. Why? Because 40% of what you lost was your lean muscle, so you lost the structure. On this, they're gaining with no exercise 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. You notice, and if you look at Julie here with 35 pounds, hold on. You look at Julie, 35 pounds in 37 days, you can see her whole body shrink. I mean, it's so great because this is a health process. It's not a diet. Sensors, this is not about dieting. It's not a diet at all. It has nothing to do with dieting. And it's sustainable for the rest of your life, right? Look, Cindy said this. By the way, Lisa and Heather, we're talking. She's on there right now. Cindy, see the lady in the blue dress? She's on the cover of Women's World magazine June 9th this year, her and her mom. She lost 54 pounds. She's a nurse, and mom lost 109 pounds. They've both kept it off for 3 years. I didn't know she was going to be on, so she's commenting right there. That's Cindy Detox. You can see her. Definitely helps with menopause. I'm not saying any of you ladies are in menopause, right? So you've got to understand this is a big deal for all of you. And it's the only protocol in the world that's published in not 1, 2, or 3 journals. It's in 10 of the biggest journals in the world. And to understand why it's a big deal to be published in one of these big medical journals, because their job is to discredit what the researchers are proving. Like no drug ever gets approved without a peer-reviewed human trial study, and then it gets scrutinized by the journals that publish the work. And the journal's responsibility is to hire other researchers, not themselves, to analyze the research, and their main job is to disprove it. That's why no drug ever gets approved without going through a peer-reviewed study and then gets published in these big journals. There's nothing in the world like this. There's no comparison. There's nothing like it. What's the website, Heather? Okay, I'm going to post it for you. Heather, hold on. There it is, the New Health Conversation. Heather, can you see it? Right at the very bottom, the New Health Conversation. Can you see it, Heather? Give me a yes. Yeah, peer-reviewed studies are the golden seal to everything. And Cindy's a nurse, by the way, Heather. But can you read that? The New Health Conversation, Heather. Yes, so Photoshop and keep it. Now, Heather, let me explain to you, and also Lisa, if you go there, we will not contact you. No. Why? Because it's the medical proof. We shouldn't have to contact you. But if you like what you see, scroll all the way down and you get a free coach and free consultation. We all got coached, etc. Now, there's one other thing, not to confuse you. If you do go for free coach, it'll say 100% money back guarantee. Let me clarify that. 30% of what you're buying from the grocery store, they're not going to refund your money. But this other 70% you're buying from these other researchers, the foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, in the first 30 days, you didn't like it, it didn't work, they'll give you all your money back, no questions asked, they'll even pay return shipping. It is almost, nothing is 100%, but it's so rare for that to happen, it's just crazy. Remember, you're also getting free coaching. How much is the coaching? $0. How much is the consultation? $0. We all got coached. And what's happening is that people are having these life-changing experiences, and they're saying, look, I'd like to help somebody else. Someone help me. It's the perfect model. The New Health Conversation is a movement. There are no products. We don't sell anything. It's an educational, it's a medical educational site with all the medical proof. That makes it way easier for us. So we're not in the convincing business, right? So pins and needles. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Well, I mean, pins and needles, you're saying that's what you spent? Plus regular food, yeah. So that's still very, I mean, you're talking less than $100 a week. I mean, all I know is that you try and go out to breakfast at a restaurant, it's about $20 for breakfast. So I'd say this is the bargain of the century. So who else would like to ask me a question? And again, Lisa and Heather, I want to make sure. So the coaching's free, and the only foods you're buying are from your grocery store and from these exotic foods from around the world. All right, well, I'm going to end this podcast. I've now gone 2 hours and 8 minutes, not that that matters, and I will probably come back on around 11, let's see, no, 10, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time today with my second podcast. I want to thank all of you for the support, for the likes, and I really urge you and invite you to go. Bye, Cindy. Right, Lisa. No, thank you, Lisa, for being here. And Lisa, you're clear on where to go. I put it in the, I'll go check it out. Thanks. Yes, Heather, too. Wonderful. Everybody. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, evening, tomorrow, whatever. Because I know in England now it's in the afternoon. If I'm right, it's 11. It's about 3:52 in the, I think it's 3:52 in London. I'm not sure if our European people are still on. So anyway, I'm going to say bye for now, everybody. And I'll be back on around